Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, the globalist Guardian paper has been the first to be able to get a copy of Harry's memoir. What a surprise. So, it says, what's in Prince Harry's memoir Spare? Here's what we know so far. The Duke of Sussex writes about tussles with his brother, that Nazi uniform, his mother's death, and losing his virginity. Ooh, ah, can't wait to hear all about it. Not. The Duke of Sussex's tell-all memoir, Spare, is not sparing in its extraordinary revelations. After it went on sale in Spain ahead of official publication, excerpts have dominated the media outlets. According to accounts, Harry writes on his deteriorating relationship with his brother, his despair over the death of his mother, and even about losing his virginity in a field behind a busy pub at age 17. Ooh. So he started with a prostitute and he married one. The accounts were reinforced by a series of trails for TV interviews by Harry before the book is published. Heir and spare. Prince William was the heir, quote, whereas I was the spare, Harry writes. According to reports in Friday's newspaper, it was shorthand used by his father, now king, his mother, his grandfather, Duke of Edinburgh, and even Granny, the late queen, the Times reports. There was no judgment about it, but also no ambiguity. Harry was the shadow, the support, the plan B, and he was brought into the world in case something happened. He's a just in case. Well, thank goodness nothing happened, I'll tell you what. He recounts hearing at age 20 that his father allegedly said to his mother on the day of his birth, wonderful, now you've given me an heir and a spare. My work is done. It was presumably a joke, Harry writes, but minutes after delivering it, he said Charles was said to have gone off to meet his girlfriends. He adds, so many a true word spoken in jest. Yeah, so Harry doesn't think it's funny. Afghanistan. In one unexpected admission, Harry reveals that he killed 25 Taliban fighters during his second tour of Afghanistan. He knew the number because technology allowed him to say with exactness how many enemy combatants he was responsible for killing. Quote, it seemed to me essential not to be afraid of that number, so my number is 25. It's not a number that fills me with satisfaction, but nor does it embarrass me, he wrote, according to the Times translation from the Spanish edition of the book. But in order to kill, it was important he did not see the Taliban fighters as people at the time, the prince continues, but rather as chess pieces removed from the board, bad guys eliminated. Yeah, that is how the globalists think. So if you're wondering why the globalists are, doing a mass genocide, just saying, now you know exactly what they think. You're just a piece that's removed from the board. It's all of you people. It's all of us. We're being removed. That's how Harry sees it. The Queen consorts. Harry and William told their father they would not stand in the way of the relationship with Camilla, but begged him not to marry her. William had felt, quote, tremendous guilt over the other woman, whom he had long harbored suspicions about. William, he was confused and tormented when his suspicions were confirmed and felt guilt for not saying or doing something sooner, according to excerpts in the U.S. publication, page 6. Meeting Camilla Parker Bowles for the first time was like an injection. Oh, isn't that an interesting word that Harry uses? An injection. It's like getting your COVID shot. That's what meeting Camilla was like. Quote, close your eyes and you won't even feel it, Harry wrote, according to the Times, but he also claimed that Camilla had seemed, quote, bored during their meeting. Gee, I wonder why. Putting that down to the fact that he was the spare and not the more important heir. So Harry's filtering everything in life as, oh, this person was rude to me. It's probably because I'm the spare, right? So Meghan played upon that and continues to play upon that. Seems to be a real trigger word for him. I'm surprised that's the title of his book, but maybe that's his therapy to try to realign the word, to make it reveal to refer to something else. Might be a little trick there he's doing with the spare word, because obviously it is the cross, the burden he's carrying. Apparently, that word. Harry wondered if she would be the quote wicked stepmother of fairy tales, but it turned out she wasn't. But he said shortly after their private meeting with Camilla, she began to develop a quote long term strategy aimed at marriage and eventually the crown. It seems like a lot of women have that strategy, Harry. Have you looked at who's lying next to you in bed? Stories began to appear in the press about her conversations with William, with Harry blaming the new communications expert Camilla had convinced our family to employ, according to the Times. So now Harry is blaming Camilla for a new communications. Huh. Prince of Wales. One of the most startling claims is that William physically attacked Harry at Nottingham Cottage, home in Kensington Palace, in a row over Meghan in 2019, which would have been after they were married, during which William allegedly called Meghan, quote, difficult, rude, and abrasive. Well, yeah, she was bullying the staff. He describes William grabbing him by the collar, ripping my necklace, and knocking him to the kitchen floor, where he landed on and broke the dog's bowl. Yeah, I don't think so, Harry. Sustaining injuries to his back. Don't believe it. He lay dazed before getting up and ordering William to leave. He writes his brother had urged him to fight back like he had done with children, but Harry, as they had done when children, but Harry refused. Oh, hothead Harry refused to fight. Yeah, right, Harry. Yeah, we're buying this story. Not. Give me a break. I mean, hey, I hope William did punch him out. That would be great. I would love to see that, though. William later returned looking apologetic and regretful. Harry gave him, this is exactly like the story Meghan's telling about Catherine, right? That Catherine was so mean and Meghan tried, made Meghan cry, but then Meghan tried to make up for it later. And look, Harry's got the same exact story, but with a few more embellishments that liars like to give. Oh, he fell on his back. Oh, and he broke the dog bowl. You had to add that little breaking the dog bowl. First of all, dog bowls are made of like concrete base, basically. You get the good ones. There's no way in hell you broke that, Harry. Don't buy it for a second. William later returned looking apologetic and regretful. Harry gave him a glass of water and says that he told him, Willie, I can't speak to you when you're like this. Oh no. Oh no. No, I just can't with this. Megan wrote this. Megan wrote this. Willie, you know this there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah, he doesn't call him Willie. Wow, they're really laying it in here, these two. These two are crazy. Using William's pet nickname. William reportedly William reportedly said, quote, I didn't attack you, Harold, using Harry's pet name. Harry also writes William told him he did not need to tell Meg about this. Harry told his therapist first, but then Meghan noticed the scrapes and bruises on his back, and she was terribly sad, he writes. Oh, please, give me a break. This whole thing is such a lie. Harry hoped, the dog bowl was Meghan's addition. Meghan with her dogs. So the dog bowl detail is definitely Meghan. That's why I think Meghan wrote that whole thing. Anyways, no need to tell Meg about it. Harry hoped for understanding from his family over his decision to leave. He writes of meeting with Charles and William at the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral, but as soon as he saw William's familiar scowl, he knew he was in for a duel. Neither his father nor his brother appeared to understand why he had left. Wait a minute, his decision to leave at the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral. His funeral was like what, 1 or 2 years after. That was in 2020. So that's like 2 years after they. Oh no, it was soon after they left, right? Because that was after the Oprah Winfrey interview. Yeah, because they aired the Oprah Winfrey interview like immediately after. Yeah, that's 2020, I believe, or 2021. Okay, his funeral was in April 17th, 2021. All right. Harry and Meghan left in January 2020 or the very end of 2019 and then announced it in January 2020 around there, I guess. And that, yeah. So, and then they moved to California around March 2020, but we don't know exactly when because nobody saw them. So, Harry in his book here, they can't keep their timeline straight. So he's saying that he was hoping to explain to them why he left, and this is after the Oprah interview. He's saying, "I was going to explain to them, you know." And how, of course, William was angry, had a familiar scowl. Well, yeah, because you bashed them and lied about them on Oprah. Neither of his, but of course, Harry doesn't mention this, Harry and Meghan. Neither his father or brother appeared to understand why he had left. No, they didn't understand why you were on Oprah and blathering out lies with your crazy wife. Of his father, he writes, Charles told his sons, quote, please, boys, don't make my final years a misery. Yeah, well, we know that's exactly what Harry's trying to do with Meghan. That's what Meghan's doing to her father, too. In a trail of an interview with Good Morning America, which is the most globalist show, due to air on Monday, the anchor Michael Strawn asks, quote, there's a quote in your book where you refer to your brother as your beloved brother and arch nemesis. Strong words. What did you mean by that? Harry said he learned of the late Queen's death from the BBC News website as he scrambled to get to her bedside in Balmoral, according to the Mail. So what the hell is that supposed to mean? It's not an answer to the question. Arch nemesis. How can he be an arch nemesis? He's in line to the throne above you. How is that an arch nemesis? You're making him your arch nemesis because of Meghan. All right, now to Diana. The trauma of his mother's death is evident in Harry, as Harry describes in detail its immediate impact and his struggle since to come to terms with it. He recalls Charles breaking the news, sitting at the end of his bed at Balmoral Castle with his hand on his son's knee, telling him, my dear son, Mum has had a car accident. According to the Sun, Harry claims Charles did not hug him and that he later felt like a politician as he greeted members of the public after his mother's death. Oh, he felt like a politician. Oh, look at that, sneaking that in there. Harry's the politician. He's been that way since he was, however old he was when his mother died. Was it 12? Ah, look at that, sneaking that in there. Many years later, Harry recounts going to see a woman not described as a psychic or medium, but who claimed to have powers. Yeah, Harry and Meghan see psychics all the time. We know it. We know it. You're using astrology. You do it all the time. We always see you using eclipses and full moons. We know you're still doing it. So anyway, so he sees this voodoo woman and who told him she was able to relay a message from Diana telling Harry, quote, you're living the life she couldn't. You're living the life she wanted for you. Oh, so now Harry's trying to claim that Diana supports his new life with Megain. Oh, that's not what Diana told me through the cards, Harry. A very different story. You can look back at my readings. I got a very different message from her. Anyways, corruption and cover-ups. Harry states he and William wanted to call for an investigation into their mother's death. Oh, here we go, reopening that old scandal there. But was dissuaded. He said a decade after her death, so she died in 1997, so it would be 2007, while in Paris, he specifically asked to be driven to the tunnel where she died at precisely 65 miles per hour, the speed her car was traveling. He later repeated the journey with William, the Times reports. He watched the concrete pillars flicker past and counted them and counted his heartbeats. I sat back quietly. I said, is that all of it? It's nothing. Just a straight tunnel. A short, simple, no frills tunnel. No reason anyone should ever die inside it. Oh, so now Harry's, figuring out it's Harry the detective, Harry the Inspector Clouseau, Sherlock Holmes. What? This is an ordinary tunnel. There's no reason for someone to have died in there. It's like, yeah, well, if they're driving in their car 65 miles per hour and the air balloon pops up, right? What do you call that thing again? I can't remember what that balloon that comes out, that impact balloon, and it obscures your vision so you can't see where you're going. That's how it can happen. Of the summary conclusion that a drunk chauffeur was the only cause of the accident, he concludes it was simplistic and absurd. See, I told you Meghan's been trying to reopen this Princess Diana scandal. Been seeing articles for the past couple of years popping up, not probably all throughout. Meghan desperately wants people to start debating the Princess Diana death controversy and bring out all the lies and misinformation. And Harry's doing it now with his book. He said here he's saying he's like, no one should have died in this tunnel. No, it's simplistic, absurd. Even if he had been drinking or drunk, he wouldn't have had any problems driving through such a short tunnel. Oh, really, Harry? And you know that because unless paparazzi were following him and dazzled him. Oh my God, Harry, you are such a moron. You are such a moron, Harry. I can't take it. I can't take it. What he's doing here. Airbags. That's what they're called, right? Airbags. It's the airbag, Harry, that inflated and blocked the driver's vision. Go ask Lady C. She can tell you all about it, Harry. Unlike you, she actually investigated it and spoke to the doctors and the expert and the doctor who was an eyewitness there. The paparazzi following, there were no paparazzi behind. They were 10 minutes away behind them, and so the driver was not dazzled when he hit the column in the tunnel. But of course, Harry, see this book, he's writing it for people who are not following this and who don't know these details, right? He questions why the paparazzi got off so lightly. Here we go, attacking freedom of speech again. Why did those journalists get off so lightly? It's not like those Capitol Police that murdered Ashley Babbitt or anything, right? No, we got to go after that. Those media, it's the journalists who Harry's interviewing with, multiple of them, all next week to push his book. Now that Harry doesn't have enough money, right? So why were they not in prison? Oh, so Harry now wants them in prison. I mean, Harry is either he's got to be purposefully misleading people. See, this is just Harry outright lying. He must know that the journalists, the paparazzi, were 10 minutes behind. They were nowhere near the car when it crashed. Harry knows this, and now he's lying to the American people, particularly young people who he's trying to influence with this, with his politician stance, right? Politicians are nothing but liars like you, Harry. So now he's distorting the facts of his mother's death, and he is trying to claim that the paparazzi are at fault and that they dazzled the driver, which is a total lie. There were several eyewitnesses, and they all said there was no paparazzi there. And now Harry's talking about prison for journalists. Isn't that interesting? Just like Fulani, the Fulani scandal, they wanted to imprison Jeremy Clarkson for saying hate speech. I mean, it's all about attacking our freedom of speech and our journalists. So Harry wants to know why the paparazzi got off so lightly and why were they not in prison and why the people who had sent them were also not in prison. Also, Harry wants those paparazzi who were 10 minutes away to go to prison and the people they worked for to go to jail. It's not good enough for Harry to get the actual journalists. He wants the journalist bosses to go to jail because he's Harry the Spare and he has spoken. Wow, some globalist is ready for a dictatorship here, huh? Oh boy. Give Harry and Meghan power and I can't even imagine. I don't want to imagine. Quote, what other reason could there be apart from corruption and cover-ups being the order of the day? Oh, so now he's accusing them of there being cover-ups and corruption. Look at the shizzle he's trying to stir here. Wow, you liar, Harry. You are totally distorting and misleading people. Can he be sued for this? Um, we gotta have to have a class action lawsuit against this guy because he's gone too far in misleading people here. He said William and he wanted to issue a statement asking jointly for the investigation to be reopened, which it was, and it was closed, and his case closed, and the press was not at fault, and even called a press conference. Quote, those who should dissuade. I mean, he said William and he wanted to issue a statement. They wanted to issue a statement asking jointly for the investigation to be reopened and even call a press conference. Those who decided dissuaded us, he said. Yeah, those who knew the facts of the case dissuaded you because you were wrong. Wrong, wrong. Sex and drugs. So great. Which is still going on. From losing his virginity at age 17 to an older woman. Wow, he's always had a thing for older women. in a field behind a busy pub. Where is there a busy pub in London with a field behind it? Must not have been in London, I guess. To tripping on magic mushrooms. Oh, that explains a lot. You know, those mushrooms, I've heard that if you take these hallucinogenics, they can actually, you can get be possessed from that. That's what I'm just saying. That's what I heard. It really can really mess with you. I wouldn't touch it. So Harry has tripped on LSD and taking cocaine in his youth. Yeah, we know you've been taking a lot more recently than your youth, Harry. Harry does not hold back. The woman, not named, treated him like a young stallion. I mounted her quickly, after which she spanked my ASS and sent me away, the Mail reports. Yeah, that's what prostitutes usually do, Harry. He had first taken cocaine during a hunting trip aged 17, smoked cannabis in the gardens of Kensington Palace and at Eton School, and took psychedelics both for fun and therapeutically. Oh, it's supposed to be therapeutic now. Okay, Harry. Yeah, psychedelics are not therapeutic, Harry. Over the years, revealing they allowed him to see the truth. Oh, that's where Meghan and Harry are getting it. That's why they think that they can get away with all these lies and their truth is a psychedelic trip. They are tripping on LSD. That's where their truth is coming from. We get it, Harry. We get it now. He also took magic mushrooms and got drunk on tequila in California in January 2016 when he was 31, with the paper reporting he started hallucinating. Believing in believing a bin in the bathroom was staring at him and growing a head, while the toilet also became a head and began talking to him. Oh, Harry, you're a mess. Other notable asides, and you know what? If you take LSD, you get flashbacks. So no wonder they're so damn paranoid. He's still tripping. You never get over that sometimes. I mean, other notable asides include the fact that he was circumcised as a child, according to New York Post, and that his penis suffered frostbite on a trip to. He is this whole thing is an LSD trip. That's why Harry and Meghan are making us so crazy. They are both in an alternate universe. They are really crazy. They're gone. They are so far gone. They're talking to Diana. They're talking to toilets. They're talking to bins. So now Harry claims that his little Willie, right? Isn't that Willie is the nickname for a penis, right? So that's why they called William that. There you go. And he's saying that he suffered frostbite on a trip because he's circumcised. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Harry. Maybe it's because it should have been inside of your pants and it wasn't. So, Harry, why in Antarctica was your little friend down there not in his pants? What were you doing in Antarctica with the other men, Harry? Anyways, immediately before William and Kate's marriage. So Harry's giving up the fact that he's gay. There you go. Or bi, or whatever he is. No one cares. Princess of Wales. Oh, here we go. Now we're going for Catherine. Simmering tensions between the Cambridges and the Sussexes came to a head after the Sussexes' wedding, after Harry and Meghan popped round for tea, according to numerous reports. Previously, Kate, who we know is extremely pregnant at this point, who had recently given birth, okay, it was right after she gave birth, had reportedly been offended at Meghan's describing her apparent forgetfulness as baby brain because of her hormones. Wow. When the subject was raised, Harry writes, Meghan apologized, saying it was how she would speak to friends. But William, according to Harry, pointed a finger at Meghan and thundered, Well, it's rude, Meghan. These things are not done here. To which Meghan is said to have replied, If you don't mind, keep your finger out of my face. Oh, I wonder if that really happened. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't believe that William would point a finger at her because Meghan said something stupid to Catherine. I think they would just look at her like, get the hell out of here. I don't believe that for a second. Another lie. So now Meghan and Harry, this is another Meghan story. So Meghan, because Meghan is trying to start a fight between her and William. You know that. She wants the Sussex squad to keep going after William. He's always the target. So now, according to Harry, William pointed a finger and said, It's rude, Meghan. these things are not done here now. Yeah, he was probably talking. She's probably on her acid trip here. Megan is confusing the fact of William possibly saying something about Megan abusing the staff and targeting them and undermining them and upsetting them and screaming at them. Harry and Meghan are screaming at the staff, according to them. So that's probably what this is about. That's possibly when William would have said things that's not done here. But of course, Meghan in her warped world of she's gonna entwine that into the baby kind of thing there. So there might be some truth to it. You know how liars always put like a little bit of the truth and the rest is all just lies. Anyways, so Megan visited Diana's grave on an island. Oh, she took some of the dirt and put it in a little cup to take it home with her. She probably, has it by her bedside with Harry with his mother's hair. Oh my God, she's so crazy. She is so obsessed with Diana. So she visited Diana's grave on the island on the Althorpe estate with Harry on the 20th anniversary of the late princess's death in 2017. Okay, so this was before they were married. Meghan wanted a private moment. Come again? And when Harry returned, he found her kneeling at the grave with her palms flat against the gravestone. She said that she asked Diana for clarity and guidance. So Meghan goes to Princess Diana's grave, says, I need a private moment here. And she's trying to, this is how she tries she's trying to channel, but she doesn't know how to do it because she's high as can be. And she's lying against her gravestone with her palms flat against it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow, she is crazier and crazier. Wow, that's a picture. That's a visual there. Oh my God. Gee, if you want to know how obsessed Megan is with Diana, there you have it. Oh my God. A private moment. Oh my God. Nazi uniform. Megan probably went back with her voodoo group. They're probably doing satanic rituals around it too. I wouldn't doubt. Keep a lookout for that. She probably would if she could. William's probably the only thing blocking her. That's probably why Megan hates William so much. I'm sure William wants to keep Megan far away from anything to do with Diana. Don't blame him. All right, the Nazi uniform. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. We're not done yet. We're just getting warmed up here. Harry's decision to wear a Nazi uniform with the swastika to a fancy dress party in 2005, which I did a reading about this, caused outrage. But according to U.S. website page 6, he claims that he phoned William and Kate asking them if he should wear a pilot's uniform or a Nazi one. And they said the latter. Both howled with laughter, he said, when he later tried it on for them. Oh, look at that. Harry is blaming not only William, but Catherine and William. He's blaming both of them and saying, Catherine and William. Yeah, Harry, we know Harry that does whatever the F he wants and couldn't give a rat's patootie what anyone thinks. We're supposed to believe that he dutifully went over to William, who recently punched him out, right? Or no, this is before the punch out, but they were fighting all growing up. And he went to William and said, William, Catherine, which one should I wear? What do you think? Like he's a bride getting ready for his wedding day or something, right? Or no, he's like a woman going on a date. Which one should I wear? I can't decide. What do you think? Does this make me look fat? So wow. So look at the lies. I mean, talk about how strategic and manipulative Harry and Meghan are. This is a perfect story. Because first of all, when he wore that Nazi uniform, let's look up the dates because maybe William. First of all, this is way before William was married. Harry is much younger here, so William and Kate were dating. They may have even been broken up at this point. Who knows? Way before their marriage, so there's no reason why the two of them would have been together at that point. But even if they were, I don't believe this story for a second. I don't believe it. He also writes that when he was criticized for referring to a Pakistani army, oh, he's got an excuse for the Pakistani cadet incident as well. So when he referred to a Pakistani army cadet as a Paki, he apparently writes the word without asterisks. He didn't know it was an insult and thought it was similar to calling an American a Yankee. The Times reports. So yeah, so that's the end of it. This part, anyways. Wow. So that Princess Diana story. Wow. Now there's another part of the story where it said that Harry keeps his mother's hair in a blue box, and Meghan came up with the pregnancy test and put it next to the box to show him that she was prego, allegedly. So not only that, an army veteran came out and said that Harry's claim of killing 25 Taliban members is very questionable. Well, everything Harry says is questionable in here in this book. This is a high-profile British veterans have criticized the Duke of Sussex's claim that he killed 25 Taliban soldiers while serving with the British Army. The retired Army veteran Colonel Tim Collins um, said that we don't do notches on the rifle butt. It says others said Harry had apparently was wrong to dehumanize the insurgents by describing them as chess pieces removed from the board. Um, Anas Hakini, an influential member of the Afghan government, said, quote, "The ones you killed were not chess pieces. They were humans. They had families who were waiting for their return." The kill count claim features in Harry's autobiography, Spare. He recounts that he was a gunner in an Apache helicopter. Wow, he's really stuck his foot into this time. Um, Harry acknowledged that he dehumanized those he shot in battle. Collins, in an interview, took issue with Harry's comments, quote, "Among his assertions is a claim that he killed 25 people in Afghanistan. That's not how you behave in the army. It's not how we think. He has badly let the side down. We don't do notches on the rifle butt. We never did." The former soldier accused Harry of engaging in a tragic money-making scam to fund the lifestyle he can't afford, and that in a barely concealed sideswipe at his wife was something someone else has chosen. Other Afghanistan veterans questioned how Harry could be sure of how many people he had killed. A former Paris said, quote, "I've never heard anyone talk about kill counts. It's crass and frankly cringeworthy. Taking a life is the most serious thing you could ever do on ops. Serious people don't talk it up as a game to shift a few books." Hmm. Yeah, so they're saying, they don't know exactly how many they killed. They certainly don't talk about it if they do know because they value life. But like I said, I think Harry brought up the chess pieces in killing. I think that he did that because he is really talking about the globalist killings going on because Harry's involved in that. And the globalists don't look at that's how the globalists look at it, right? But Harry is trying to, I think, well, look at this. I think Harry is trying to blame being in the military for his being all right with killings and dehumanizing others and looking at them as just removing the pieces off the board. That is like a psychopath thinking. And considering how many drugs he's taken, and I'm sure he's still influenced by, that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with, he's maybe not born a psychopath, but with all the drugs and whatnot, and the influence of Megan and her gang, he obviously has that way of thinking. And now it looks like. So the fact that Harry even mentions killing 25 people after saying that he wants to attack the journalists, they should be in jail, prison, and the people they work for. And according to his book, him and Meghan are both victims of William and Catherine, who laughed at them and forced them to wear a Nazi uniform. I mean, it's unbelievable. This book is unbelievable. So let's take a look. Why is Harry saying that? Is he like threatening people? Is he acknowledging his globalist murderous tendencies? Is he like a rare bout of honesty there? Or is he proud of it? I mean, like the army's people said, they don't go around talking about that. So the fact that Harry would volunteer a number like that it almost seems like he's proud of it, and or that he's sort of threatening people, like, "I've killed 25 people, and I don't really feel bad about it, but and, you may be next," so it seems very kind of a veiled threat going on there. So let's find out, what was Harry thinking, or is he confessing to his murderous globalist tendencies? I'm going to be using the Steampunk Art Nouveau deck today. Very cute deck. Let's find out. It's a little crazy like Harry, a little psychedelic. He is not but he's dangerous though, obviously. He's got too much money and causing too much damage. So let's find out. But luckily people have been catching on to him and Meghan and their deranged state of psychosis. So let's see. Why was Harry bragging about killing 25 people? Why is he doing that? Is there a message in that? Is he confessing? Let's find out. What was the meaning of that? Or is that a veiled threat to journalists and others who insult him online? Or is he, as he censors your account with the Aspen Institute? Chief of misinformation. Let's see. What the hell is Harry thinking? And Meghan going and laying on Diana's grave. I just can't with these two. Wow. Wow. They're. Crazy. So what's Harry thinking with this mentioning 25 killings? Uh-huh. Hanged man. So he's trying to portray himself as a victim here, but at the same time, powerful and trying to obviously the hangman is seeing things in a new perspective. So he's trying to take everything that he's done, the Nazi uniform, his everything else, and he's trying to flip it, right? He's trying to turn it into he's a victim of William and Catherine, and he's a victim of his father who didn't hug him, and he's a victim of Camilla, and he's a victim of the paparazzi, and he's a victim of this. So he's trying to flip the narrative here with Megan's help on all the stories. 'Cause that's what Megan's all about, flipping that narrative. And he's trying to portray himself as, a reformed man, right? Now he knows better. He knows how about racism and unconscious bias now. His eyes have been opened by his wife. So all these things in the past, well, actually he was a victim of all that, don't you know? And as well, I get to the queen. Is this the queen? No, it's the page of wands. So he is coming out with everything in the media. He is wanting to push this story. He's giving interviews, pushing the book. He's giving multiple interviews. Wow, he's got 60 Minutes, ITV, Good Morning America. I mean, he's hitting the major globalist platforms. These are all the lying mainstream media channels. So Harry fits right in. And he's just going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating his story, and all of the globalist media is going to be like, oh, poor Harry, and they're all going to eat up. They're not going to question anything. They're not going to question Princess Diana's death and all the details that he's getting wrong about everything that he's getting wrong. They're not going to question anything. They're just going to repeat it, repeat it, repeat the lie like they always do. So that's the basis. Why is he really coming out though? He's trying to uh make it seem as if, he's just a victim here, of everybody, but he can kill, unlike his brother. I think he's pointing that out because I don't think his brother's ever been in a war, right? And at the basis of it all, Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. So, I always think of Princess Diana with the Queen of Cups. And Harry is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and he thinks that everything he does, he thinks that his mother is because of some woman who has powers. And at the base of the deck, I have 7 of Wands. So generally, this is about him defending himself. This is generally about trying to make himself appear bigger, stronger, and that he's winning, and that the media is going to lose. He's going to sue you all into oblivion and put you in prison. I mean, they're really trying this. I mean, that after the Fulani thing and the Jeremy Clarkson thing, they were really seriously talking about having him arrested for hate speech. And I could also see this as Megan because Harry sees his mother as Megan as well. Megan as his mother. I mean, he's so far gone. And you know how she's looking in this huge cup is sort of like conjuring up with spell work and things like that. And I think Harry is under the influence of that as well. He's completely out of his mind under these influence of alcohol and whatever drugs, and he seriously thinks that Megan is in touch with his mother, and So, but these deaths he's bringing up, Seven of Swords. So, he's just lying and lying. He knows he's lying. He's trying to rewrite history here. And so must be what he learned with Megan and BLM. You don't like history, you just rewrite it. That's it. So he's doing that. He's recreating everything. He's putting it in a book. I mean, this is serious. He's putting this in a book, and he is trying to. On the one hand, he's trying to portray himself as a victim, of the paparazzi, of the media, journalists, and his family, and his mother as well. But on the other hand, he wants to remind you all that he fought in Afghanistan. He's very proud of that, of course, very proud. Um, Very uncaring. So I think that he just is lying, and he knows he's lying, and he doesn't care because he thinks his mother and Megan are all right with it. Megan, of course, has written most of this, I believe. So what's he expecting by talking about killing 25 people allegedly, which is probably not true at all. And I get the I believe it's is this two of wands? Yeah, two of wands. Sorry, I couldn't see the symbol right away. Yeah, so he's expecting that, people are going to believe him, and he's going to be going forward, giving speeches, writing about this. And two is like divisiveness, two sides of a story, right? So he is mainly trying to stir up divisiveness in the media, wands with him and his brother and him and his sister-in-law, him, the Wales is, and him and Charles and all that. So he's trying to differentiate himself and act like he's so superior to his brother again, who never went, fought in a war. So he's trying to say, I'm so much better than William, such a warrior, and he's trying to um, show that he is superior. I mean, I think the real thing of this book is he's trying to say the spare is superior, basically, to the and that he's been nothing but abused since day one by the heir. So really trying to get sympathy and also trying to stir up divisiveness and turn people against them. And this part of that seems to be with now Harry, I think, is bitter about losing his military titles. And I believe that's part of the reason why he is bringing this up to anger his father and possibly anger the military a bit too, because then they'll complain about it. Because since he doesn't want he wants to anger them because he's angry at them for not putting up a wreath for him at Remembrance Day and losing his patronages. He's still very angry about that. So I think that's why he's coming out with numbers like this. I think he knows what he's doing is going to infuriate. Everything he's doing is infuriating the royal family. For him to say, "Oh, my brother looked so angry when I saw him, and my father when I was at my grandfather's funeral." It's like, yeah, right after the Oprah interview, he's like, "I was just trying to explain to them why I left, and they were so angry with me." It's like, yeah, it's a few days after the Oprah interview too, by the way. So the way Harry and Meghan are working together to concoct this narrative where they lie by omission and try to portray everything from their warped view and create divisiveness. So Harry really has no intention. He also has said that he wants to get back together. He wants to. He says he claims that he wants to reconcile with his family, but only if there's accountability. But really, he doesn't. I'm getting with the Two of Wands. He doesn't want uh, to reconcile. This is about creating more divisiveness. But he's portraying himself as the peacemaker here, as the victim. Like, I really want my family. It's not my fault that they abused me and they don't listen to me and they punched me in the mouth and knocked me on my back and broke the dog dish. So it's this typical, once again, Meghan and Harry playing the victim while aggressively attacking. So Harry is lying again about, of course, wanting to get back together. This whole thing is just simply about lies. Lying and lying, pushing the lies. So what does he not want? Was he afraid of or not want here? Ooh, Ace of Swords reversed. He's still paranoid they're gonna kill him. So he is and he doesn't want to be, right? So and yeah. Either kill him or, expose all the lies he's put out. He doesn't want to be destroyed. He doesn't want to, but I think he's paranoid enough because he's so drugged up that he really thinks they're out to get him. They're out to kill him or something. What's he hoping for? Whoa. King of Wands reversed. Yeah, he's hoping to be very upsetting to them, to in the media again as well. Creating a furor here, being destructive as possible in the media, King of Wands. This is part of destroying the monarchy. How does he see the public? I want to see in general. How does Harry see people? Wow, four of swords reversed. Wow, he sees. I wanted to ask how he saw the general public because I was wondering, like, he's so blasé about death. Just him and I saw an article recently about Jane Goodall and what a eugenicist she is, and we all know Harry and Meghan are good friends with Jane Goodall. Her, meeting with her before he left the UK, big show there. And I see here with this Four of Swords in this deck, you have a person, or not even a person, it's a transhuman. It's like a transhuman, all, you know, like the Matrix. You see, they say the globalists are trying to put everybody in a matrix so they can, suck all their energy out. Like Bill Gates has patents 06, 06, 06 about, taking the energy in a cellular level. And even Biden has recently signed in legislature about, you know, um, doing things with the molecular level, energy level of human bodies, and using that energy uh, of people, body of minds, all that stuff. So I'm getting that Harry he sees everybody as transhumanist, moving towards transhumanism if you survive, and using your body and thoughts, and for the benefit of Klaus Schwab and Harry and the rest of them. So yeah, he does not think highly of anyone in the general public. He wouldn't think twice of shooting you dead without thinking about it. You could be number 26. How about that? I wonder why he chose number 25. That was like an odd number. That he would just choose that number. I think that he does not see the public as human. He pretends like he's compassionate like Diana, but he's not. He thinks he is. He thinks that he's doing what Princess Diana would have done. He really thinks this. And he's convinced of this because of Megain, who pretends to be Diana and who has studied her relentlessly, right? Not incessantly. So he really thinks, and I'm sure she's getting all the hoodoo voodoo people around, all the Satanists they work with. So yeah, so he thinks he's doing the right thing with his transhumanist movement, and he sees humans as just future slaves in the New World Order. So they got that, and as you can see, is like not even human. He doesn't even see other people as human. You're not human to him. You're just a mechanical slave. You know what I mean? To be used and abused. But buy his book anyways. He wants to be a superhero, be popular too, though, at the same time. So what's going to happen next with this whole thing? Oh my. 10 of Wands. Look at all the eyes. He's got like all these antennas on top of my cameras. So yeah, Harry's gonna be nonstop working this for a while. This is his job, obviously. He's gonna be all over the media. I see all these like little tentacles coming out, kind of like he's going to be all over the media all next week, starting Sunday. Oh, can't wait. We all Harry all the time. Harry says this, Harry says that. I mean, it's like abusive, right? They are Harry and Meghan are at this point abusing us with their PR. They're weaponizing everything, lying about everything, and they're just constantly um, inciting people and just putting themselves out over and over and over again. It just won't let up. So creating divisiveness and creating more media humdrum drama nonstop, is going on and on and on about it, dragging on and on and on in the media with a ton of wands, never ending in the long term. Oh, look at this Page of Swords. Page of Swords. And more fighting, more words, more lies, more trying to instigate divisiveness here. The Page of Swords and Two of Wands. Again, trying to encourage more people to get more attention for more money, but also again, trying the way they're trying to turn people against the royal family, and um, by hoping to mislead young people in particular to see Harry, whether you're woke or not. If you're woke, you're on Harry's side because he believes in unconscious bias and racism. He thinks everybody's racist, so he's on their side. And he also wants to turn everybody against the royal family. And he thinks he can do it. He's working towards that. He is working on that. And he thinks he's on a mission for his mother. And he thinks if he doesn't do this, someone's going to kill Meghan, Princess Diana, too. He really believes it. I think he really does. So, as far as him mentioning that he killed 25 um, people, I think that he does want people to believe that he's changed on the one hand. He wants to put it out there that, I'm not the person I used to be. I'm not proud of it. But at the same time, he wants you to know it. He's like, yeah, I want you to know. Anyone who threatens me, because you can kind of see like there's like yeah, he's like attacking to kill. Like he's not afraid to kill somebody. He wants you to know that, and don't mess with Harry is what the message he's putting out. But I also think it's sort of a confession that he's part of the transhumanist movement here, and that he's with the globalists. So yeah, he's crazy. He's completely insane, and he talks to his mother. He really thinks that she is directing him with all of this and the work that he's doing. He really thinks he is. And he's going to continue doing it until he's stopped. And I think that's what he expects. Like, I think he thinks if he stays in the media, him and Meghan, that they won't get killed. I think he thinks that if they're too quiet for too long, or if they don't attack first, that they'll be attacked physically. Because Harry's paranoid. So, because he knows that everybody knows him and Meghan are traitors for leaving like they did and turning their back on their country and their family. And he's trying to flip the script. Him and Meghan are trying to flip the script here with their lies and flip it around in the media and get people turned. His work is to try to turn everybody against, again, the royal family, and to divide everyone in between them and the royal family and make it a big, brouhaha here. So just being as damaging as he can in the media because he really thinks he should be king. He thinks he should be king, him and Meghan. And he's going to keep fighting and lying and spreading misinformation until, the end of time. He's not going to stop. Ten of Wands, he's just going to keep going and going and going. And he's doing a lot coming up soon. Ten of Wands, he's going to be all over the place. So wonderful, huh? He is just awful. He is just an awful human being. So that is what I have here regarding Harry and him talking about killing 25 people. He did that intentionally. He knew it would piss off his father. He knew it would look bad in the media, to piss off the military. And he's stirring the shizzle, like his wife, with the lies. I mean, it's all lies. You know that. And so that's, he was, what was he? He never even went out. I don't even think he went out anywhere when he was in the army. They had him hidden away. He wasn't even allowed to go out. So, yeah. So this is just to incite more anger online and in the media, and to be divisive with the royal family and trying to portray himself as the victim again, just like Meghan. That's it. He's being a loser. He's being a liar and trying to defend himself, trying to flip things around, trying to turn people against again. So good luck with that. Don't think it's going to happen. I think he's looking more and more immature and juvenile as time goes on, and crazy. Yeah. All right. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If so, please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye bye.